Hello, brothers. Hello, sisters out there in Facebook land. How you doing, Sister Monica? How you doing there, Pastor Vale? I see your hand right down there. How you doing, brothers? How you doing, sisters? Come on in. We got to go ahead and get this content out because there is a playoff game tonight, and I know some people want to look at the Hawks play Milwaukee, so we're going to go ahead and try to get on this. And you get your medicine so I can let you go enjoy the game. I'm going to try to condense this and present it to you so that you can get something out of it, okay? We got a few more seconds. We're going to let a few more people come in, and then we're going to jump right on this content tonight. I hope that you brothers and sisters had a good weekend. We are embarking on another week as the Lord has made. Now we're going to get to it shortly. I'm going to give it a few more seconds, then we're going to jump on this topic. It's good. I guarantee you that it's good tonight, my brothers and sisters. It's going to be good. I hope that you can get something out of it. Yes, we're about to get into it now. I'm about to get into it now. Okay, Genesis, thank you for the music. Now we're about to get into it. How you doing, my brothers and sisters out there in Facebook land? My name is Tony M. Toomer. As you know, I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship from a biblical perspective. When I say biblical perspective, I'm talking about God had a unique relationship with the man Adam, and then he also had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. He represented the woman back to Adam, and Adam said at that time, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call a woman because she came from man. And so it was, and so it is. My brother and sister, as far as relationship goes, I strongly believe in the relationship between a man and a woman. Strictly. That's what I believe in. I believe in what God said about it. Because God, he's the one who started relationships. So I believe everything that God have done. If you believe in any other type of relationship, any type of exotic relationship, you have a free will, my brother and sister. You can do what you choose to do. But as far as looking at this content, it's basically about the relationship between a man and a woman. With that said, my brothers and sisters, I hope that you will listen to what I have to say. It's very, very important. I talk to brothers and I talk to sisters. How you doing, Sister Sherry? I don't beat on brothers. I don't beat on sisters, but it depends on the content. I might lean more to one gender than the other one. So on this particular broadcast, the topic for this evening is, if a man does these things, leave immediately. Again, if a man does these things, leave immediately. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, sister, there is a point. How you doing, Sister D. Sounder? There's a point, sister, where you may need to leave the relationship. It's very, very important that there's a point that you might need to leave the relationship. As far as leaving the relationship, I'm talking strictly, I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. This content that I'm about to talk about tonight, my brother and sister, it is more geared to single women and single men. It's more geared to single men and women, okay? But this particular topic, if a man does these things, leave him, this is a head up for you sisters, okay? Now, first, this is how I'm going to approach. I'm going to approach it from two different perspectives. How you doing, Sister Shelby? First, I'm going to talk about when you should lead the man himself, sister, just because. Again, when you should lead the man yourself. And secondly, the second part I'm going to get to so that these brothers don't think I'm being down on them. Secondly, sister, we are going to talk about you sisters when you should honestly reevaluate yourself on the inside, and there's a good man where you still need to lead a relationship. Okay, now, let me be very clear, my brothers. Let me be very clear, my sisters. Today, we are going to dismiss everything that you have been taught, everything that you have heard, and everything that you have learned, basically from the world's point of view, what I'm about to talk about. So whatever you've been taught, whatever you've been shown to listen to, it was from the world standpoint, most of it from the world standpoint. So we're going to put a lid on it and we're going to throw it in the trash, okay? For example, some of you have been watching and listening to relationship gurus on TV, on the internet, some of your family members, some of your friends, some of your co-workers that aren't even in a current relationship. So you've been getting some bad advice from some people that aren't even currently in a relationship, but they could tell you what you need to do and what you shouldn't do. So my brother and sister, you have to be very skeptical about listening to people that they don't even have no receipts to tell you about relationships, okay? Now, nor are they willing to open up and show you an example of their private life, but they could tell you everything else. So you got some people that want to be relationship gurus and tell you how you're doing, Sister Paula, what you should and shouldn't do, and they don't even have no receipts. And a lot of these people that you're listening to on TV and the internet and stuff, my brother and sister, they're not even in a relationship. So how can you really listen to a person and they're not in a relationship? How can they tell you the ups and downs of a relationship when they're not currently in a relationship, okay? The best person you could listen to that's in a relationship is someone that's currently in a relationship. And when I say currently in a relationship, I'm talking about someone who have failed in a relationship because they don't want you to go down that pathway and touch the stove, okay? So when you listening to a man or a woman talk about relationship, my brother and sister, it's best to listen to someone that have failed, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. It's best to listen to someone that have failed in a relationship. That don't mean that that man or woman is a failure, but that person have failed. So that man or woman can tell you some things so you can avoid touching the stove and getting your hand burnt, okay? And on top of it all, my brother, sister, most of the people that you are listening to, they aren't even in a serious, they aren't even in a committed, and they definitely in a covenant relationship. What do I mean by a covenant relationship? I mean a relationship from God's point of view. Most of the people that you have are currently watching and listening to, my brothers and sisters, they will not even include the Lord in their conversation when they talk to you or when they counsel you. They won't even bring the Lord up. Now, how can a man, my brothers, how can a woman, my sister, we're brothers and sisters, how can a man or woman advise you on a relationship and they could tell you all kinds of ways how to have a successful relationship, but they don't even include God in the equation? How can a man and a woman exclude God out of relationship when God is the author and the founder of a relationship? Because just like this shirt say, how you doing, Sister Deborah? Just like this shirt say, if you notice, I've been wearing these shirts lately, right? You got God here. God had a unique relationship with the man. You see, you go down here, God had a unique relationship with the man. Then that's God and Adam, right? And then he put Adam to sleep, okay? He got the rib from Adam and he stepped over to the side, and God had a unique relationship with the woman, Eve, okay? So what did God do? He brought the woman to the man, and God was in there. So when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, you have to be very mindful who you listen to. If a man and a woman you go to seek advice from, if you seeking some help in a relationship, do not ever, never listen to a man or woman that does not have no receipt, meaning that he or she will not even include God in relationship. And I have told you this several times, my brother and sister. Like if you ask the average couple, how are you able to maintain a relationship? Like some people, they have been married 50 plus years, and I have said this before. If you ever hear a man and woman say, because we had good communication, that's a man and woman that doesn't have wisdom, okay? How you doing, Sister Taylor? He or she does not have wisdom. If a man and a woman sincerely having a successful relationship, you better believe they had some ups and downs in a relationship. Because when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, you're going to have some ups and downs in a relationship. All your days are not going to be sunny. You're going to have some rain in your relationship. So when you talk to someone, they need to tell you that if it were not for the Lord, we would not have made it. If we did not exercise our free will, because God did not make us stay together. He gave us a free will, and when he gave us a free will by choice, we decided to stay together. So that's the only way a relationship could be successful, if God into it. Now, I know a lot of you have seen people that's in a relationship for long. That doesn't mean God is in it. That don't mean God is in it. So again, my brother and sister, You got to understand this. If God is not in the relationship, it's not going to last. But the content for tonight, if a man does these things, leave him immediately. Sisters, we're going to talk to you first about what you need to prepare for. And then secondly, we're going to talk to the brothers. So I don't want brothers, don't be out there talking about Tony, you anti against men. I'm not anti against men. The reason why I'm more harder on you brothers are because God put you in a leadership and headship role. That's why I'm more hard on you brother than these sisters. I'm hard on the sister too, okay? But I'm harder on you brother because you brothers, you are the head and the leader of the relationship. And I'm going to touch on that a little later, but not right now, sister. I'm about to talk to you, and I want you to listen to what I'm about to say, and do not hear me. Listen to what I have to say, please, okay? Now, sister, there aren't any perfect men. You got to get this in your head, my sister. There aren't any perfect men out there. So stop looking. As a matter of fact, you don't supposed to be looking for no man anyway. He's supposed to find you. Since there are no perfect men, sister, however, there are two classes of men out there. There are two classes of men out there. One is the godly man. This is a man that's following after God through his son, Jesus Christ. Now, this man, he understands this fact about a woman. He understands that as it is written in 1 Corinthians 11:9, man wasn't created for woman, but the woman was created for the man. The godly man, my sister, he knows that your purpose, how you doing, mother? Your purpose in his life, and he isn't planning or using or stringing you along when it comes to a relationship. So when you meet this godly man, keep in mind, he have a purpose in mind, and his purpose is not to plan on using you or stringing you along. This is the godly man. Now, for the sake of the topic today, if a man does these things, leave him immediately. What type of man should you leave? Good question. Well, here go the answer. The type of man is this type of man. This is a worldly man, okay? Now, a godly man, this is a spiritual man that is led by the Spirit of God, even though he is imperfect, okay? How you doing, Shelley? He's imperfect, but now we're talking about the worldly thinking man. Now, what is a worldly thinking man? The worldly thinking man, his idea of a relationship, how you doing, Sister Linda? His idea of a relationship with a woman is basically for a woman to be submissive. The worldly man, he would verbally tell a woman or tell women or tell other men, when you get a woman, she's supposed to be submissive. She's supposed to be submissive. She's supposed to be submissive. But the worldly man, he is not even submissive to God. So how can a worldly man expect for a woman to be submissive to him when he's not following God? The math doesn't work. It doesn't compute. 1 + 1 always equal 2. It never equals 3. Okay, so look at the math and look at this type of man. He's a worldly man. Now, these type of men think that they are the prize in the relationship. There are some men out there that think they are the prize in the relationship. And they think that a lot of men, they think like they up here and women are way down here. When God did not create women down here and men down here. God created the man and woman in his image and likeness. He created both of them. So God did not create no man up here, and he did not create no woman here. He actually created both of them equally. However, they have different roles and responsibilities in the relationship, and they have different positions in the relationship. That's why when God instituted this thing between Adam and Eve, he placed the man at the head of the relationship. God did this. That doesn't mean that the woman was inferior. God just decided for whatever reason. If you want to know why God placed a man at the head of the relationship, wait till Jesus come, and on Jesus' free time, you ask him why he did it. But as for right now, I'm telling you, that's how God created the order. That doesn't mean that a woman is inferior, but there's a lot of worldly men that think that women are inferior in a relationship. And these men think that they are the prize in the relationship, okay? Now, these type of brothers, not our brother, but these type of worldly type of brothers, what they think is a woman supposed to do everything that they are told to do. without any words being said. They think that the woman's supposed to keep the house clean without any words being said. They want to make sure that they're fed without any words being said. How you doing, Sister Flo? They want the woman to lay on her back without any words being said. And they want the woman overall to be quiet. They don't want the woman to say, no, there are some of these type of men. These are dictator-style men, and these are domineering men according to the world standard. They got it backward. They will beat a woman over the head saying, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to be submissive to me because I'm a man. But in the same breath, they will not look at the point that they're supposed to be submissive to Christ, because the structure is God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of woman. They missed that part by Christ is the head of man. Therefore, sister, a lot of you are dealing with worldly men. Majority of you have been exposed to worldly men. Majority of you. If you have been going through some rough relationships, you most of the time it's been a worldly man. Okay? And now I'm about to get to the point. If a man does these things, leave immediately. Now, sisters, tonight, when you listen to me, I'm going to make some points. If you see any of these red flags, do like Forrest and run, okay? Do like Forrest Gump and run. Did Forrest answer? Did he ask him the question when he started running? No. Forrest Gump, when he seen trouble, he took off running. That's what some of you sisters got to do. Be like Forrest Gump. Okay, now, single sisters, leave these worldly men alone. If he doesn't have, first of all, question yourself, does he have a relationship with God? And we finna get into it. Does he have a relationship with God? Most of the men that you deal with, they have heard about God. They heard about him, but they don't know him. Why they don't know him? Because they haven't spent time with him. And that's the most critical thing. They haven't spent time with him. They haven't listened to him. They haven't been taught by him. They haven't been guided by him. They haven't been shown how to deal with a woman. So, and these are the red flags, so you can see, my sister, that these men, they say that they know the Lord, but they deny him by their works, okay? So if a man deny the Lord, he ain't got to say it verbally. Because most men going to say, I believe in the Lord, but their works going to show you something just like this. Jesus said that you can tell the tree by the fruit that it bears. Maya Angelou said that whenever a person show you who he or she is, believe it. In Jeremiah, I believe it say that a leper cannot change his spot, and neither can Ethiopian change the color of his skin, okay? So what it is what it is, okay? So now, sister, this is the red flag that you need to look for, and these are a byproduct of a man that doesn't have a relationship with the Lord. Understand, sister? These are a byproduct of a man that doesn't have a relationship with the Lord. Number one, he never discuss his relationship with God, but he would talk to you about everything else. Have you, sister, ever met a guy and he could talk to you about everything else? How you doing, Sister Nisa? He could talk to you about everything else, but when it comes to God, he never bring God's name up. Never. Question, sisters, question. Have you ever seen the man that you're talking to, and this more so for the single sister and single brother, but sister, I'm concentrating on you now. Ask yourself this question. If you're currently talking to a man right now and you're not married to him, just listen to what I'm about to say. This is a question. Have you ever seen this man that you're talking to, or have you ever heard him pray? If you haven't heard him pray, does he leave everything up to you to lead? And this is a simple question, sister. The man that called you on the phone, the man that you date, have you ever seen him pray? Even over a hamburger. If you and him eating a hamburger, have he ever led a prayer over the food? Something like, it could be something simple as this. Lord, thank you for this food that me and Honey Pot about to eat. Whatever your name is, sister. Lord, thank you for the food and the drink that Honey Pot that we're about to eat through your Son, Jesus Christ. Have he ever said a simple prayer over a meal? Have you ever heard this man pray? Does he ever talk to God beside he want to get you on your back, and then he'll say something about the Lord's name in vain, like he'll be saying, while he on top of you, he'll be saying, oh Lord, and all that kind of stuff. You don't want no man to get you on the back and start talking about the Lord. You want this man with his clothes on and your clothes on. Does he ever tell you anything about the Lord? Do you ever see the Lord in him? Because if the Lord is in him, it's going to be shown. The thing about a man that have the Lord, a man cannot cover it up. You cannot hide light. You cannot, there's no way possible that you can hide light, sister. So that's number one. That's the number one flag. Does he have a relationship with the Lord? Number two, is this man mentally stable to be a leader? Is this man mentally stable to be a leader? Can he make a sound decision? If this man doesn't have a relationship with the Lord, he cannot be mentally stable. He could be worldly stable, but he cannot be spiritually stable. He can't make sound decisions. The man that you're dealing with, he can't make sound decisions. He has to run to you to ask you everything when a woman is naturally made, well created to follow the man lead. Does he have to come to you for everything? Why he can't go to God, get God input, and then if he need to, he can ask you something, but he should be able to make sound decisions. If this man doesn't have a relationship with the Lord, the type of man that you have, sister, is a double-minded man. You understand? You have a double-minded man if he doesn't have a relationship with the Lord. I'm giving you the red flags tonight, okay? Some of you sisters, if you see these red flags, I'm telling you, do like Forrest and Rowan, okay? Number three, can this man take care of himself? What do I mean by that? Or does he look for you to take care of him? Again, number three, can this man take care of himself, or does he look for you to take care of him? Now, let's talk about take care of himself. Is this man already established when you met him? You got to look at it. Is he already established when you met him? I'm going to go to these three guys from the book, the good book, that was already established when a woman was brought to them. As I said last night and night before that, Adam was already established when the Lord brought Eve to him. Isaac was already established when the Lord brought Rebekah to him. Boaz was already established when Ruth was brought to him. All these men, they was already established. They were not looking for a woman to come into the equation to say, okay, I need her for this or that. Was this man able to stand alone before he met you? Adam was able to stand alone before Eve met him. Isaac was able to stand alone before the Lord brought Rebekah to him. Boaz was able to stand alone before Ruth was brought to him. When these women was brought to these men that I just called out their name, the reason why the Lord brought these women to the men, because they were going to play a very vital and important role in these men's life for the glory of God. You understand? They have to be able to stand alone. Today, is this man standing alone when he start trying to talk to you? Is he independent is he dependent on the Lord? Does he have himself together? Not from the world standpoint, because worldly man can have himself together, because the devil could give a worldly man some things. Do you not realize that, my sister? The devil can establish a man counterfeit. Whatever God has is the truth. The devil always have counterfeit. So are you dealing with a counterfeit man? Just because this man live in a big mansion, got a nice car, got 6 figures in the bank, could do all could go on all these exotic trips and stuff, that doesn't mean that the man is established. This man could be living on a house on sand. So the house could look nice, but it's on saying, now a godly man and a righteous man, they could be on the same style house. But what is the foundation? Is this man's foundation on the rock, which is the Lord, or is it on sand? And sand, you know what about the story about the house built on the rock and sand, right? And we're not talking about Allstate, the good hand people. We're talking about, is this man's house established? For those of you that are coming in, tonight's topic is, if a man does these things, leave him immediately. And this is a small little thing that I said about it. These are the red flags again. I'm going to say it quickly. Sister, for those of you that coming in, you're either going to be dealing with a godly man or a worldly man. A godly man know that you was created for him. A worldly man doesn't. A worldly man is there to use you and string you along. Even though he got you feeling like you got a whole bunch of butterflies, it's not the truth. And these are the red flags. I'm going to say it real quick, then I'm going to get to where I'm at currently. He doesn't have a relationship with God. Even though he said he know the Lord, he don't know him. He know about him. He know about Jesus. If he's in the United States of America, he have heard of the name Jesus. That don't mean that he know him. Have he ever talked to you about Jesus? Have he ever prayed? Have you ever heard him pray? Have he ever prayed for both of you all? And like I said, when you have eaten with him, does he lead the prayer over the food? Because he's supposed to be the leader now. And these just smaller signs if he's the leader. Have he ever held your hand or was just in front of you? He didn't have to hold your hand and prayed over the food. If he can't do nothing simply praying on the food, this man don't even have no relationship with the Lord, because this man is going to be Lord conscious, okay? Number two, is he mentally stable? If he don't have no relationship with the Lord, he's not mentally stable. This is a double-minded man that have to always run things by you, when he's supposed to be the head and the leader of the relationship. It's okay if he does some things, but not all things. Because it's natural, sister, for you to follow the man. He don't supposed to follow you. You supposed to follow him. Okay? Number three, this is where I'm currently at. Can he take care of himself? Can he take care of himself? And like I used the illustration, there are two types of houses. Okay? There's one that built on the rock, which is the truth, and one that is built on sand. The houses can look identical. It's about the foundation. It's about the foundation, because you got a house that this man following after God, and you got a house that this man is following after Satan, okay? Okay? This is what's happening. Satan could give this man things, and it look good. That doesn't mean it come from God. You got to look at the foundation. If this man can't take care of himself, and he's on a sure foundation, meaning the rock, he can't take care of you. Because if he got his stuff established any kind of way, he's not going to tell you everything about it. And then one day, you could be with this man for years and years, and a wind going to come by, the storms of life going to come by, and they're going to blow it away, because it was built, that house was built on sand. And you got hooked and bamboozled, because this man could give you things, like I mentioned this too. If a man offer you the world, sister, run like Forrest. If you ever hear a man offering you the world, run like Forrest. Because first of all, a man doesn't own the world. He could give you some of the things of the world, but you don't want no man that could give you the things of this world, because everything in this world that you can see and touch is temporary. You want a man that's affections are up there. Now, if his affection is up there, the Lord is going to give him some things to provide from himself and you and possibly some children, or just you and him. So you got to be able to use your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, and your discernment. Can this man take care of you, or is he looking for you to take care of him? Does this man still stay with his mama? Does he still stay with his mama? Is he staying with somebody else? Is he trying to establish himself? If a man trying to establish himself, he don't need to be in a relationship right now anyway. He need to have his own self established when you come into the picture. Now, a man that is established, he's ready. And he's sure, he's not double-minded. This man is not looking for a woman to take care of him. Sister, if a man always coming to you saying, loan me this, I need you to do that for me, that's not a man. As a matter of fact, sister, if you're single, you don't owe him nothing anyway. Like he doesn't owe you nothing. If you're single, he don't owe you nothing. You're not his wife. And definitely, you don't owe him nothing. You don't owe this man no wifely privilege. And this is the thing with some of you single sisters, not you all though, but some of the single sisters, you act like this man is your husband and you're doing all this wifely stuff. You're doing all this wifely stuff, and this man might discuss marriage, but that's all he's doing. He just bumping his gum. He just talking. He's not making no effort. And I done told you, some of you sisters did over and over again, it doesn't take a man a long period of time to get ready to marry you. I'm going to tell you this. If you have met a man, and I'm being generous, if you met a man and he haven't talked to you about getting married to you within a year, and he moving toward, and y'all moving towards year 2, it's something wrong with that picture. It's something wrong with that picture. When you look at the examples of Adam, when you look at the example of Isaac, when you look at the example of Boaz, these men, they knew just like that those women were the one. They knew just like that. If it's the right type of woman, the man knows. So I have told you sisters this over and over again. And like I said, I'm being generous. I say it a year time. If you dating a man over a year and he's not talking about you and him moving to that third level, which is the covenant part, he might say that I'm serious about you. I'm committed to you. How you doing, Sister Renee? He might say all of that, but have he did more than just put a ring on your finger? Have you done more than that? Okay, Shirley, I'll say that one more time. Have you done that more than that, sister? Have this man dated you over a year? And I know I'm stepping on some toes tonight. Have you been talking to this man over a year? And he might mention marriage, or more than likely, you the one who brought up the topic about getting married, and is going into year 2. And he like old mother hubbing with that lady that lived in the shoe. You all know that nursery rhyme about the lady that lived in the shoe and she didn't know what to do. Or you dating a man that lived in a shoe and he don't know what to do. Men know immediately. We know, sisters. I'm giving you the game plan. I know a lot of brothers don't like it, but I'm telling you, we know. We know early. And I was being generous by a year. Actually, within 6 months. Actually, in 6 months, that man should be making an aggressive move instead of playing with you. A lot of you sisters let these men play with you. Y'all let them play with you, then you get so tired, and then when you break up, the next thing you know, this man that got married to another woman just like that, and you wondering. Years and years go by. And then all of a sudden you have a breakup, and the next thing you know, the man married another woman, because more than likely he was dating that other woman anyway. And you've been doing all these wifely things, and now you feel real low right about now. Some of you sisters, I'm trying to help you. Some of you sisters, you have a habit of dating these men and doing all these good things for them, and they won't do the right thing. They won't do it. And if they do it, they probably gonna try. They probably call themselves selling with you. So, sister, you got to understand it. I'm giving you some red flags, what to look for. And like I said, if you see these type of men, you're supposed to leave immediately. And another thing, does he show you thoughtful acts of kindness by taking care of your needs? Now, I'm not saying he's going to give you no money. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. And you brothers that listen out there, I'm not telling you to give no woman no money. I ain't telling you that. But I'm telling you, is he thoughtful enough to take care of your needs? Because a man know that a woman have needs. Case in point, I remember, if you all have read the story about Boaz and Ruth, and we went over it a couple of nights ago. When Boaz met Ruth, he immediately started thinking about providing for that woman and protecting her. That's what he started doing. Ruth was already working now. She was already had a job. As a matter of fact, she was working on Boaz's field. So she already had a job. So, brother, even if this woman have a job, she still have needs. Even if she make, and I'm about to step on the limb, even if she have even if she made more money than you. Brother. I said something wrong. Even if she make more money than you, she still have needs, okay? Because even if she make more money than you, if you get together, you still supposed to be the head of the relationship. Just because she make more money than you, that doesn't mean she gonna be the head of the relationship if she believe in the Lord. What the Velma said, why do men want you to entertain with his family and friend, but he won't do it with your family and friend? That's a twist. Let me see, wait a minute. Velma, are you saying this? I'm trying to get this right, because most of the time most of the time, if he really don't want the woman, he's not going to hardly take her around his family friend. Is this what you're saying? This man that you're talking about, he actually taking you around his family and his friends, but he won't do it with your family friend. Now, if he won't do it with your family friend, wow, that is something right there, Velma. Just let me know, is that what you actually saying? You know, by yes or no, then I could address that, okay? Another thing, sisters, if this man looking at you to help you with your needs, I'm talking about he thinking about your needs. Your needs, not your wants. Don't get it twisted. He thinking about your need, not your want. When it came to Ruth and Boaz, Boaz was not thinking about Ruth wants. He was thinking about Ruth needs. It's a big difference. Put food on your table if you need food, that's a need. Getting your nails done is a want. A man that care about you, he's going to think about putting food on your table before getting your nails done. Nails and the want. You see what I'm talking about? Does he have thoughtful kindness towards your needs first? And then is he thinking about, do you see this man got a protective spirit in him? When you, like if he drop you off at home, does he walk you to the door? If he drop you off at home, does he wait until you go in the house? If you over to his house and you leave his house and go home, does he call you to make sure you're at home? If he got some type of mental clock, he should say you should be home at this time. Does he check on you? Does he address your needs, and does he have a protecting nature? And this is a good thing. Sister, I could tell you some things that are very, very simple. Does this man have a protecting nature? Next time you go out to dinner with this guy that you talking to, and this is a simple test. This is a very, very simple test. Okay, Vilma, this is a very, very simple test. When you go into a restaurant, since we able to get out more and more, when you go to the restaurant next time, when you walk into the restaurant, check this out. And this is something very simple. When you sit down, check out where he sit at. This is very crucial where this man said that, because they're going to show you that he conscious of you, okay, of your safety. To tell you the truth, when you go into a restaurant, and this is something simple, sister, everything I'm telling you is some simple thing in these red flags. When you sit down in a restaurant, your back should be to the door, not his back. If you should, when you sit down, he should sit where he could watch that door. What does that mean? In case anything pop off. He should be comfortable talking to you in a restaurant And he should be able to watch for signs of danger because there are some crazy people out there. Does he care for your protection? If you're walking on the outside, let's say you're going to a concert together or something like that. Let's just be hypothetical. If you're walking on a curve, these are simple things. Does he walk on the inside of the curve, or does he walk on the outside? If he walk on the inside, he don't care nothing about your butt. If he walk on the outside of the curve, that's in case anything happen, like a car could come up there and hit the curve. Instead of hitting you, it should hit him. You see, this man should be like a shepherd, and you should be like the sheep. Because he should be taught this by Jesus' example, because Jesus is the ultimate shepherd. He's the good shepherd. Men supposed to duplicate Jesus' character by being a little shepherd, and you like the sheep. You know what a sheep? You know what a sheep? Sheep don't worry about anything. Sheep don't worry about nothing. How you doing, Chan? They don't worry about anything. The only thing sheep want to do, they want to graze, eat, and they want to rest, and they want to go by still water and drink some water. How you doing, Sister Gil? That's what they want to do. And by the way, let me tell you all this. It says still water. You know why? Because realistically, sheep are not going to drink no water when the water is moving. That's why it says still water. That's calmness. So that woman should be calm. How you doing, Sister Gil? She should be calm. So this man have to have a provision mentality, and he should have a protection mentality. Back to you, Velma. Velma, let me tell you this. This guy that you're referring to, he got a lot of things twisted. His world is twisted. We're going to go back to, I'm going to tell you this. This man does not believe in Jesus Christ. He don't believe in Jesus. He have heard of Jesus. He might say he believe in God, but he doesn't believe in Jesus. Because if he believed in Jesus, he would do something that Jesus would do. And a lot of stuff what Jesus done in the Bible is there. Men supposed to play the role of Jesus when it comes to their woman. They supposed to study Christ. The woman supposed to study Christ, how he treat the church. So the woman get an idea how Christ treat the church, and the woman said, well, I'm the church, so I'm supposed to do this for the man. That guy, to tell the truth, he don't believe in Jesus. That's all I got to say about that. He doesn't believe in Jesus whatsoever. You need to do like Forrest. You need to run, Velma. You need to do like Forrest. Run, 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 run. Number 7. This is when you should leave a man immediately. You do all the contacting. You do all the calling. You do all the texting. If you don't call or you don't text, you don't hear from him. The only time you hear from him is at 12, 1, and 2 o'clock in the morning. And it might not be that. Whenever he wants something from you. Because more than likely he wants something from you. He might use the word I need, but most of the time he wants something. This man is not stable. When a man, sister, let me listen up, sister. When a man does not call you, when a man does not text you, when a man let days go by, even the Lord wants us to have contact with him daily. Just think about that. The Lord wants us to talk to him daily. He wants to talk to us daily. If this man is not in the United States Army, and he out there in the field, and he can't talk to you, but more than likely, a man is not in, he might not be in the United States armed forces or nothing like that, okay? But a man, if a man really care about you, he is going to reach out to you. Especially if he live in the same city where you at. He's going to reach out to, he should initiate. And you should do some things too, but sister, it's not your duty to initiate things when it comes to man. It's good when you call him. It's good when you text him. But just look at it now. When you get finished listening to me tonight, look at your phone and see how many times have he called you. And count how many times have he called you within the last 2 months. I'm being general when I say 2 months. I could say a week, but I'm being general. 2 months. See how many times have you reached out, called him. See how many times have you text him compared to what he have done. Red flag, Forrest, Ron. Ron, Forrest, Ron. If you're doing all the contacting, Ron. Number 8, he has that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde mentality when he get angry. This is another thing you sister need to look at. When he get angry, especially at you, what does he do? When he get angry, what does he do? He might be cool and stuff, but say for instance, you and him have a disagreement. You and him have a disagreement. What does he do when he get angry? Key thing, does he call you names besides your government name or a pet name? Does he call you anything else? Like, does he call you the female version of a dog? Does he call you a garden tool? And you all know what I'm talking about. Does he call you a female dog name, or does he call you a garden tool? And I'm not talking about a shovel. What does he call you when he get angry? That's right. So, sister, does he call you names when he get angry? Does he disrespect you? Does he have a thing by disrespecting you? Maybe have he hit you before? Have this man hit you before? Have he slapped you upside your head? Have he backhanded you? Have he pushed you? Have he touched you in a way that's inappropriate? If this man have called you names, if he had disrespect you and hit you, Ron, Forrest, Ron. Another thing. That's right, Sister Shelley. You got to know your word. Velma, are you saying, you said always disrespectful and verbal. I want to ask you a question, Velma. This guy that you're talking about, is he disrespectful to you and verbally disrespectful? Let me know that. Number 9. He wants his relationship with you to be private. How you doing, Sister Twilight? He wants his relationship with you to be private. Are you dealing with a man, sister, that he want your relationship? Okay, Velma say, yes, he disrespectful and verbally. Velma, Ron like Forrest. Ron like Forrest and don't look back. Ron. Cut off all forms of communications. We got to bring Jesus into this. The only way you're going to get from him, Velma, you got to pray to the Lord. You got to get with the Lord. You see, he got you tied on several ways. First of all, let me tell you, and I have told you all this before. I told you the nature of a man, he got a spirit, he got a soul, he got a body. Just like you, sister, you got a spirit, you got a soul, you got a body. You see, the thing about it, every man and woman have a soul. Every man and woman have a body, but every man and woman doesn't have the same spirit. If a man is disrespecting you, Velma, cause if he disrespecting you, I could tell you what he got. He don't have the Lord's spirit in it. So if you don't have the Lord's spirit in you, you got to have the alternative spirit, and that's a counterfeit. That is Satan. If it's not Satan directly, it's one of his demons. As a matter of fact, he could have a legion of demons. And that's many. Church said, a God man will not disrespect a woman in no manner. That's right, sister. Verbal offense. He will not do it. This man that you're dealing with, Velma, this man has a demon. And that demon is working through him, and he might not even realize it. But this man got a demon in him, and that demon is telling him some stuff to his soul, and his soul is working it out through his body. This man, he's a dangerous man, Velma. Because if he disrespecting you, if he haven't hit you, he going to eventually start hitting you upside your head. And it's not the gap band, oops, upside my head. He's going to eventually start putting his hand on you. I'm telling you what's going to happen. He put his hand on you, and then he might say something like he's sorry to get you back, and then it's going to become a pattern. It's going to become a pattern, so you need to get away from this guy. Like I said, number 9. Number 9. Like I said, he wants the... That's right, Sister Shelley. This man, he wants your relationship to be private. Are you dealing with a man that wants your relationship to be private? These type of men say, I don't want nobody in our business. I don't want nobody in our business. These guys, that's what they'll say. I don't want nobody in our business. I don't want nobody all up in my... Everybody ain't got to know. These type of brothers, you definitely aren't the one if he keep your relationship private. Question. Have you met his family? I'm not even saying his friend. I'm not even talking about his friend. I'm talking about his family. Have you met his family? I give you a test. This is a test. Ask him to take a picture with you. These are simple tests. Ask the man, some of you sisters that you're dating, ask him, just do this, just throw this at him. Take a picture with me so I can post it on Facebook. You're going to get something. Even, just say, why are you ashamed of me? Ask him, are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed of me? Let's take a picture together. And another thing too, sister, if you out in public with him, this another test. Try to hold his hand. Try to hold his hand. That will cap it off. Try to hold his hand. You ain't got to grab his hand now. Just gently put your hand and see will he hold your hand. That'll tell you a whole lot. Number 10, another way, and this is the final part before I talk to you sisters now. The final thing, he ghosts you and reappear. What do I mean by that? He just completely vanished off the earth. He get in a spacecraft and he go to the moon or somewhere and you can't get in contact with him. Then he reappear. You call him, he won't answer the phone. It goes straight to his voicemail. You text him, he won't return your text. He ghosts you. Not only are you doing all the calling and the texting. Now, if you're doing all the calling and text, you got some guy that will respond to your call text, but then you got those that just completely ghost you. If a man completely ghosts you, let me tell you this too, sister. Are there certain type of days through the week where you can't contact them? But there are other days in the week where you can contact them. That's telling you a lot right there. Because there's another woman in the picture. Chain said, I've been there too, Velma, but I'm grateful no longer. Yeah, you see, Velma, you could do it. This proof, this sister have been through it, and she could. Y'all need to get together and talk. This sister have told she got experience in it, Velma. She can relate to what you're going through. Y'all need to, Chain, if you don't mind, reach out to Velma if you can. Velma, give her your contact information. Go to her inbox and talk to her. Cause this sister, she could probably help you. Cause she have walked down that road before, and that's right. They have tons of excuses when we talking about being private and ghosting you. These are the red flags, sister, that you need to move on immediately. Yeah, Sister Fluff said he gone to another woman's crib when you can't yet contact him. And Sister Shelley said, I went through some of these things that God is awesome. You see, Velma, you're not alone. You got some sisters here that can help you because guess what? They have walked that road before, Velma. If they have done it, they could tell you what they have done. Velma, you see Sister Chain, she say, inbox her on Facebook. Inbox her. She's a woman, you a woman. You all can relate to one another. Okay, she have walked that road, talked to her, Vilma, but let me tell you, Vilma, you got to break these ties. The spiritual tie, which he have a demon. You got to get that. You need the Lord for all of this. You got to break that spiritual tie, then that soul tie, because he got your emotions. He done kicked down the door of your will, and he got your mind, and then your body. He going in and out of your body sexually, and he got you all twisted, Velma. So you're going to have to cut those ties. You got to go 100% no contact. Now, sisters, brothers. Now, sister, before I leave out, the topic was, if a man does these things, you need to leave him immediately. Now, there are some of you sisters out there. It's not all about the brothers all the time, okay? It's not all about the brothers. There are some sisters out there that you are manipulators. There are some of you sisters, I'm not talking about you all, but there are some sisters out there that are manipulators. According to the psychology of manipulation, the art of manipulation is not about making people do what you want them to do, but rather get them to want to do for you. Again, this is how manipulator go. And we talk about some female manipulators. And this from the psychology of manipulation. The art of manipulation is not about making people do what you want them to do, but rather get them to want to do what you want them to do. And this is a mind game. Sisters, if you know you don't, and we talk about some of you sisters that it's a good man that wants you. Some sisters, it's a good man that wants you, but you don't want him, but you won't tell him. Sister, if it's a man that you're not interested in, don't use this brother. That's because, and let me tell you this, sister, some women have manipulated men so bad, because men could be manipulated too. Some women have manipulated men so bad where these guys, they hate women. They want to go monk. They don't want nothing to do with women, or they get to the point where they want to use women. You understand? They get to the point where they just want to use women. Sister, don't be one of these women that use a man, because it could go both ways. And let me tell you this, sister. If you're dealing with, if a nice man want to get in a relationship with you, if this nice man tell you he's serious, he's a serious-minded man, and he wants to commit, and not only does he want to commit, he probably desire to marry you, but he's a good guy. He might not look like some of those Hollywood stars. He might not have a 6-pack or 12-pack and all that kind of stuff, but he's a nice guy. And he check out all those other points, okay? He's a godly man. Now, if you don't want this man, sister, listen up. If these are some red flags for you, sister, to not even play with the man time. Be just straight up and honest with the man, sister. If this is you and you see this man and you're not interested in him, just do this for the man. And these are 7 points that I'm going to make. Sister, if you're not interested in this man, but you look at him as an ATM machine, leave that man alone. Stop taking this man money from him. If you look at the man as an ATM machine, leave him alone. If you don't want no long-term relationship with the man, leave him alone. Okay, leave this man alone. Cause if you play with some men money, they will kill you. You better not take no men lightly when you mess with their money and asset. These kind of dudes, they might kill you. Number 2, you give him the impression that he's the only one that you are seeing. Or to say it differently, you giving him mixed messages. Some sisters, you know you're dealing with more than one man, right? If you're dealing with more than one man, let this guy know. This guy that's into you, let him know that you're dealing with another man or two. Okay? You don't want nobody playing you, so be straight up and let the man know, look, I'm talking to other guys too, so he will know. Be straight up with him from the get-go. Be straight up. Let the man know that you entertaining other men. You ain't got to go into detail. Don't give him no mixed signal where he think that you want a relationship, but he's not really sure. And you playing him like a yo-yo. You throwing him out and you bringing him back. You playing the man like a yo-yo. Don't yo-yo the man. Number 3, and this is what I mentioned for earlier when men do this to you. Sister, the same thing happened. He contact you all the time, and you only contact him when you need or want something. More than like you want it. Sister, if this man calling you, blowing your phone up, and texting you, if you don't want no relationship with him, let him know. Tell him, will you please stop calling me? Will you please stop texting me? Because I do not want no relationship with you. If you don't want to hurt his feelings, just say, I don't want no relationship at this time. So if you tell the man you don't want a relationship at the time, make sure you don't use him as no ATM machine, okay? Because you conflicting, you end up dead. And I'll be seeing somebody on Facebook talking about you. Have you heard this sister dead and stuff like that? I don't want to see this on Facebook, okay? This man, he makes sure that your needs are met and sometimes your wants, but you don't return nothing in return. There are some sisters, you stringing this man along, and he making sure that everything is good with you. He taking care of your needs, and he throwing in some wants. But you ain't doing nothing. You're not giving him nothing back. You won't even fix him a bologna sandwich. You won't even offer him a glass of water, but you taking in everything. If this man doesn't mean nothing to you, don't accept nothing from it. Don't accept no gifts or nothing because you use it. It's the same thing like money. If the guy getting you gifts and all that kind of stuff, he might end up killing you. If he think that he's being played. He wants to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship. You don't. And you hope that he figure it out. He might be slow. This man might be telling you about his hopes, dreams, and all his disappointment. He's trying to be transparent with you. And you don't want to hear nothing about it because you know you're not going to go down that road with him. If you don't, and some of you sisters saying, he should be able to figure it out. He see that I don't call him, I don't text him, and nothing like that. Just be straight up and say, look, I don't want no commit. I don't want no serious relationship. I don't want to commit, and I'm not ready to get married. So he will know. Don't let the man try to figure it out. Another reason, you don't value his time. The only time you have time for him is a lot of time it could be inconvenient, and you know it's inconvenient. This man could be on his job and you want him to do something, whatever, and he jump for you. You don't even have to say hi. You don't care about his time. It's all about what you want on your time. Leave this man alone. If you don't want nothing with him, if you don't want to be serious, leave him alone. And the final thing, sister, if you do not want no long-term relationship with this man, don't punish this man for bad relationship that you had in the past. If you went through a bad relationship and you haven't gotten it resolved and you get to the point where you want to pay somebody back, don't do this to a good brother. Don't hurt the man. Don't hurt him. He might be interested in you. Do not punish this good brother because you had some bad choices in the past, a man or men, and now this good man that now you want to have all your wrath on this good brother. Do not do it, sisters. So it could go both ways. You run for your own sake or you run for the man's sake. Okay? And with that said, I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. I hope that you all really took this content in, and I hope that it was helpful for you. Lord willing, I will be here tomorrow evening Okay? I'll be here tomorrow evening. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. You all have a good night, okay? Peace out.